supply and demand for human existence is like gravity. You wake up in the morning and you come to grips with demand. All your actions are based on satisfying demand. And if you define demand as wants or needs, then everything you do is to satisfy a want or a need. So we're all about demand. They call us carbon-based creatures, but we're demand-based creatures. So all of our efforts and work that we do is a function of creating supply in order to satisfy our own demand. That's why we go to work. We go to work and we add to the system, creating supply of goods and services in some fashion. And that satisfies not only our demand, but other demand as well. We get paid to satisfy our demand. So to me, that's the human system. Now, if you want to deny the existence of that, that's fine. But you get into the word entitlements again. And the idea is that there is some entity, the government, whose responsibility is to supply us with our needs, our wants and needs. And we don't do that efficiently when we put it in the hands of something else. It just doesn't work. You know, I did a progress report at my meeting Thursday, and I said that Trump's goal, well, his stated goals, and what I perceive to be his goals, is number one, reduce the public sector economy and increase the private sector economy. Well, how's he done on that? And what's the ramifications of that? You get a distorted job picture because the jobs end quickly on the public side. But in the private sector, you get investment, foreign investment or capital, and companies are formed, and they got to go out and find premises, and then they hire in a pyramid. You hire a small amount of people at the top, and they go out and hire other people. So that process takes a lot longer. So the jobs disappear quickly, and we've said this all along. The jobs disappear quickly and in the public sector, and they don't replace that in the private sector right away. That takes time. So we're in that transition, and the job numbers start to look bad. We don't know that because we're not getting any numbers. The government shut down.
And we can't trust what we do get.
But. And what we got, we didn't believe anyway. Right?
That's right.
So there's that. Has he been successful? Yeah. He's shrunk the public sector quite a bit. DOGE hasn't done what they said they were going to do. So that's one of the goals. The other goal he said is, I'm going to set a tax policy and it's going to encourage investment to grow the private sector. And he's done that, and he's generated a lot of private investment from offshore. So I would say he's been very successful there, and that's in transition too. Those monies come onshore, they get developed and put to work, and it takes time to put them to work. So I give him 2 A's for both of those things. But we haven't seen the results of it yet. We're not going to see it for probably another 3 or 4 months. Then the other thing, the Fed, he's trying to reduce the cost of the debt by growing the economy and generating more revenue. That's supply side. And reducing the cost of the debt by moving the financing to the short end rather than the long end. And he's doing that with business. Now, we haven't seen that happening yet. So he hasn't controlled the Fed. The first step of that is getting rid of Powell and putting an easier Fed there. And the second step is Bissett, moving the funding from the longer end of the curve to the shorter end of the curve, which is cheaper. So the interest cost will go from $1 trillion to something lower than $1 trillion. And if the economy grows, it becomes a smaller percentage of the tax revenue that we enjoy from the greater GDP. So the jury's out on whether or not he's successful there. He can't be successful while Powell's there, and he can't get rid of Powell. The other thing he's trying to do is the tariffs and generate tariff revenue. And that's twofold. Number one, generate revenue for tariffs, And number two, encourage domestic suppliers and consumption from domestic suppliers, and move the trade numbers again. Now, the trade account, have you seen any numbers on the trade account? I don't know if that's improving or not. But it can't not improve if they're trying to avoid tariffs. So either we're going to get tariff revenue or domestic producers are going to enjoy a boon, a
But
boost.